I believe that one thing that all of us riders have in common is wishing that we had more time to ride. This is something that even for someone like myself who has made riding my profession and my career, I still wish that I had more time in the day to ride. But what we're going to talk about in today's video is when we can set clear priorities and when we can be really honest with ourselves what our priorities are and okay with the fact that priorities are going to change. We can sometimes find more riding time for ourselves, but we can also make it easier in the times when we know that we're not going to have that much time to ride and to practice. I'm Callie, and as well as creating these videos and these courses for you since 2012, I've also been riding and teaching professionally for many years before that. And one of the things that I find is that common factor for, like I said, all of us as riders and for many of my students is the frustration at not being able to progress fast enough, at wishing that we had more time to ride. Whether you are riding once a week in a lesson and you would love to be able to do 2 times a week or to have some time to practice in between, or whether you even have your own horse, you get to ride on the weekends, you wish you could ride through the week, or maybe you get to ride every day like I fortunately get to do, but you still wish that you had more hours in the day to spend riding. But here's the truth. We all have busy lives. We do have other things in our life besides horses and riding. And when we can be really clear in what our priorities are for that time, whether it's for a larger period of life, maybe a time where you're going through school, where you're taking your kids through a transition, or where you're in a life transition, or even just for a short period, for a month when you know it's going to be really busy at work, or some time when you maybe have more free time. When you can be really clear about what your time is and what your priorities are and where your riding and your horsemanship fits on that priority list, it can make it easier to, one, either create more time for riding. If you decide that it really is a priority, it really is that something that is really important to you and that you want to take time for, you can take the time for it. You can look at things that are not as high priority. Is it really that important to make it to every school meeting or to stay after work every day and put in those extra few hours just to try to get a little bit ahead? If you really decide that riding is your priority, you can change some of the other things in your life to make sure that it happens. Even just with thinking about how we spend our money and how we allocate our resources, time and financial. If riding is really a priority for you, then think about where you may be spending somewhere else that you could just put towards your riding. But on the other hand, it's completely okay to decide that riding isn't a big priority right now. Again, whether that's just for a short period of time or whether that's for a longer period of time in a bigger life transition. If you can make that conscious decision that you still are connected to your riding, connected to your horse, but right now it just can't be a priority, it can be easier to let it go, to focus on the things that you need to focus right now and come back to it when you do have time. Or make the decisions of how you can stay connected. Maybe it's by watching these videos, or maybe it's by taking a course when you know you'll have time late in the evenings to maybe have an hour to do a little bit of study time or do some unmounted practice. But you also know that realistically, you're not going to make it to the barn every weekend to be able to ride or to get your riding lesson in. So you can take that time to do something that still keeps you connected, even if you can't actually make it out to the barn. So what I really wanted to share with you in this video is take the time to make your priorities. Think about what are just the top 3 to 5 things that are really important in your life right now. Get out a pen and paper and go ahead and just start jotting things down. It might be things like kids, it might be a specific work project, it might be maybe preparing a house for a move, searching for a new house. It might be even just those unexpected things that come up. Something comes up and you have to really focus on your health, or you have to help a family member, and those things are important to you. But you might also decide as you're looking at that list that maybe you've been putting a little too much importance on things that really don't matter that much at the moment. Is your work something that you really have to give as much time and attention to as you've been giving? Or could you pull back a little bit and take the time for yourself by doing a little bit more with the horses and with the riding? And even if you decide that riding isn't a priority, are there those little ways that you can still stay connected and be more at peace with the fact that you can't be at the barn as much as you would love to? I sincerely believe that when we can get really clear in our priorities, we can enjoy our days so much more because we feel like we're living in line with what we really want to do and what we really want to accomplish, and be at the peace with the fact that some of those other things that we dream of and we stay connected to, we are going to make time for when it's appropriate for them to be a high priority in our life at a later time. I would like to challenge you to really be part of our little community for this one. Take a moment, go to the comments. If you're watching this anywhere besides crktrainingblog.com, go there, go in the comments and just write what your top priorities are right now. Just a few things that are really important that you're really focused on. Maybe riding is in that list, and if it's not in that list of top priorities, what are some things that you do to help you still feel connected, even though it's not one of those things that you're giving a lot of time to? And if it is, what did you have to maybe cut back on a little bit in order to be able to keep riding a priority and give it that extra time? I really look forward to hearing your comments on this one. So go to CRK Training Blog, leave a comment there, and I'll see you in the next video.